Well, just for your fun information, I just recorded a whole video, but I never actually pressed record. So then I got to the end and I was like, okay, well, and then I looked at the clock and it was still at 0. Oh, so this is take 2 for me, but take 1 for you. I was saying, this week was the beginning of the crazy concert weeks, and I had the recruitment concert today, which was a really great run through of the songs for the kids before we have our Pops concert tomorrow at the middle, or not tomorrow, next week from today, at the middle school. I also got told that I looked like a real teacher today, which is funny because I'm not wearing anything different or more fancy than usual, but also still just entertaining. Okay, I'm trying to remember everything that I just said 30 minutes ago. Not 30 minutes, but like 10 minutes ago. I also had Tina come observe me at the middle school this week. Probably easily the worst class for her ever to observe because there was picture day for the yearbook, and not like student pictures, like group pictures. So they were calling out choirs, and they were calling out like clubs and teams to have their picture taken for the yearbook, of course, during the class that Tina was there to observe. Oh, it was so frustrating. Overall, I thought I did okay with the management. It was definitely a little hairier than usual as far as behavior management goes, because the kids would go out to take pictures in the cafeteria, which of course is located right next to the stage where choir is, and then come back in and be all excited because they just saw their friends, and they had a little detour from class, and it was exciting. So I had to constantly like manage as they were walking in and get them refocused and back on task. And then of course the choir that I was teaching had to go have their picture taken. So it was like the most frustrating day ever. But and I felt like, if there was ever a day to see a bad example of a class, that was it. But it's okay. I also had my 3-way observation that day, and I thought I did really, really well. I only got 1 2, which I didn't think I deserved, but it's okay because it's only the first one, and 2s are fine and should be expected, I guess. But I have no doubt that everything will pass on my last 3-way observation. So beyond that, what else did I talk about already? What else did I spiel about? The work sample, the middle schoolers are doing really, really well. But unfortunately, I'm realizing just how much time it seems to be taking away from rehearsal. And right now, they're like my only choir that really, really needs the rehearsal time because they're not quite there. And so it's hard to it's just hard to balance it and it's frustrating because the 7th and 8th graders don't need the extra time. So I almost wish I'd done my work sample with the 7th and 8th graders, not the 6th graders. But, whatever, I guess. I'm starting my high school work sample next week, which I'm super excited for. Although I was thinking about how, in all honesty, the high schoolers could probably use the exact same work sample that I'm teaching at the middle school. Just because a lot of them just have no solid knowledge in the basic building blocks of music theory. And I almost wish I had time to teach 2 work samples, but I have written my pretest and I have sent it off, and so I'm just waiting for the AOK to start on Monday. But I ordered a ton of resources and books and some videos and CDs and stuff like that. So I was looking through them and doing some of my own research to make sure that I know enough to teach this body mapping thing. I don't know if I've actually ever talked about officially what my high school sample is. We'll just give a quick brief overview. This is my plan. I want to do a section on breathing, and so the structure and function of the lungs, what's the purpose of the diaphragm, what even the heck is a diaphragm, how the ribs expand and have their little excursion and the way they move in conjunction with the lungs and the diaphragm, how it all works together. And then I want to do a section that's about the structure of the actual vocal apparatus. So basic things like the vocal folds and the epiglottis, and what in the world is an epiglottis and what does it do. And then of course, I'm trying to think of what else and then sort of being able to accurately map like all those things. So accurately mapping like where is the larynx, and is the trachea in front of the esophagus or is it the other way around, and how does air flow in and come back out, and then the process of phonation, like how does breathing work together with the larynx to produce sound, and then a final section on vocal faults, just very basic vocal faults that the girls will identify, and then we'll talk about how they're caused and how they're fixed, and I want them to see it, experience it, listen to it. So I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a really cool unit, I hope. I'm also really concerned that they're going to ace my pretest, but we'll see on that one. Fingers crossed that they won't ace it, because I want to teach them. And I feel like I'm learning buckets of information by preparing this work sample. I almost said unit study. Ooh, transfer to Dr. Silvera's class. Other than that, as far as... I'm just looking at my notes really quick. As far as the middle school work samples, I think I have like another 6 or 7 days left of teaching for my middle school work sample, and then I'll be done. But I'm also waiting until after their Pops concert next week to kind of wrap it up and do review. Because I know with the Pops concert next week, and there's a festival that I'm going to at the high school, that there's probably going to be little work on the work sample. Also, side note, I totally forgot to mention that I stayed homesick for the first time ever on Wednesday. It was a migraine. I'm actually kind of concerned about getting migraines as a teacher because I do get them and they're really impairing and really hard to function when I get them bad. So I was thinking about that on Wednesday and how much it could just totally disrupt my flow as a teacher. And I don't want to like be the teacher that just calls in for no good reason. I mean, a migraine's a good reason, but just calls in, because, so maybe I should go see a headache doctor or something. But it was good to think about what am I going to do when I get a migraine as a teacher and I don't have a cooperating teacher who can just kind of take over. Is it worth it to call a substitute? Do I go in with a migraine anyways and just suck it up? It's a lot to think about. So, thoughts for reflection this week, I guess. Anyways, that's all I got. So, yeah, only got 4 more weeks. Short amount of time to do a lot of stuff. Anyways, that's it.